Check one, check two. I'm the English / rapper that you never thought would happen. And commentary get it cracking like pads when they start whacking. Applaud like studio audience audio. It's the Rabb Yeaux Sports 2 show. Is that so? It's R.O.B. Every time I drop a podcast, you know it be must see TV, must hear. So click here. When you click right here, it's like pick the fire most right. I pick emotionally right, at least closer than most of those other hoes. And I'm not a Rob, you got the flows. And welcome back to another action-packed episode of the Rabb Yeaux Sports 2 show. NFL 2020 season, week 1. I want to thank y'all for joining me today. Coming to y'all with the quarantine, trying to stay safe. And also, hope y'all staying safe out there, taking all precautions. And if you know that you're sick, let people around you know that you're sick. And if you know you're sick, wear a mask. That's all, So, hopefully y'all are doing well where y'all at. I'm doing well, just quarantining, trying to stay safe and healthy. And this is going to be a great episode of the Rabb Yeaux Sports Show. Got so much going on as we go into week 1 of the 2020 season for the NFL. But first, we're going to take a pause and a moment of silence for John Thompson. And rest in paradise, rest in peace to John Thompson, former head coach of the Georgetown Hoyas and those great teams from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. He helped mold the lives of so many young black men and helped them acquire success on and off the basketball court. So definitely want to give him a major shout out, condolences to his family, and the sport of basketball. That's a great loss, and not to mention the countless lives that he touched. And I was inspired and influenced by him because I know he was a great coach and he did so much for the young men that he came in contact with in his basketball program at Georgetown. And a lot of them became great NBA players as well. So, major loss, but he definitely left a lasting legacy. And speaking of lasting legacies, as the country witnesses yet another killing of a black man live on television for the world to see. And the latest killing, it was in Wisconsin, where Jacob Blake was seen gunned down. But it wasn't a killing, but it could have easily been a killing. But he is now paralyzed after being shot 7 times in the back. And in response to the shooting, many NFL teams boycotted practices and scrimmages as well. Not to mention in the NBA, the Milwaukee Bucks led a boycott in the NBA bubble, which was basically a pause in the play, where a lot of the NBA players got to get a lot off their chests and were given time and space to meditate and relax and get some time away from the game just to digest everything going on in the world. And also, several NBA and NFL teams held meetings to discuss their experiences personally and some things they could formulate as plans to move forward. Things such as social activism, things such as voter drives, voter initiatives, suggested policies, bills, and a lot of teams also spoke to the media with statements where they gave their collective thoughts and voices. So definitely a big salute and a pat on the back and applause to all the NBA, NFL, WNBA fans, players who have spoken out. And some owners are beginning to be chastised, and some owners are actually beginning to speak out. Some coaches speaking out. Owners such as the Philadelphia Eagles owner, Jeffrey Lurie, was speaking out on certain things. Not to mention head coach Seattle Seahawks, Pete Carroll, and Chargers head coach Anthony Lynn, both speaking out on what's been going on in society. and also several players of several teams, where it seems like I think it brought a lot of the teams together and allowed them to realize we're all the same. Whereas in sports, people are a lot less colorblind. It's more about a team effort and what you can bring to achieve success on the court or on the field and win. Where in American society, it seems so much hate and racism is being perpetuated and revealed in this current state of where the country is right now. So it just shows you that regardless of what's going on in society, so a lot of these NBA and NFL teams comprised of a lot of black men, a lot of white men, and other foreign men of different colors and descents are able to come together for a common cause, speak out, let their voices be heard, and take a stand against, if they feel like they don't want to play today because everything going on, they don't have to and they're not going to. And that's definitely to be respected and commended for what's going on in the world today. And now let's look at some of the top storylines as we go into week 1 of the NFL season 2020. And in the Washington football team, they recently hired a new black president named Wright. And he will be the brand new first ever president of first ever black president of an NFL franchise. It's been 87 years since they went by the Redskins, but as many of you know now, they will be going by the Washington football team so they can acquire the licenses and properties of a brand new nickname with their trademarks and patents in hand, and also logo design and everything else that comes along with it. And also with the Washington football team, there was rumored of a cheerleader video with the girls, I guess, who were trying out being recorded partially nude. And this was something that was supposedly made the rounds in that Washington franchise, which of course it's not denied any involvement or knowledge of it. And in a twist of fate for that franchise, the NFL will be taking over the internal investigation of the Washington DCs moving forward, as it was formerly being investigated by the owner, Daniel Snyder. And moving along, in other news, we have players cashing in and getting paid, such as Budda of the Arizona Cardinals, who now has become the highest paid safety in NFL history with a total of 4 years, $59 million, and a $10 million signing bonus with $22 million guaranteed. So kudos to Budda, and he's a very versatile player. I'm sure we'll see a lot of him. Also look out for rookie from Clemson, Simmons, doing versatile things with that Arizona Cardinal defense. We also had some tight ends getting paid, such as George Kittle, 5 years, $75 million for San Fran, and also Travis Kelce of course, the Chiefs, 4 years and $57 million with a 14.3-year average, $28 million guaranteed. So kudos to those players for cashing in at this time, when they even suggested that in the next years, the NFL salary cap will be lowered. So imagine that. But this year, I suppose with the decreased number of fans will be allowed to partake or anticipate viewing and visiting and being there, attending the games. I definitely know that some of these, definitely probably most of these NFL franchises will take a financial hit based off ticket sales, concessions, stands, merch, and everything else that comes along with that. Parking, hot dogs, beers, the whole shebang, t-shirts. So it's already been announced some teams will not have fans for the first 2 games. Some teams will have fans at a limited capacity of, I guess they decided what the number would be. And fans will be expected to wear masks and or stay in their different groups of who they came with, I suppose, or pods of people. So we'll see how everything pans out. Also with the NFL, they've had their NFL COVID protocols in place, and the numbers have been staying relatively low, so they're doing a good job with everything. And then we have notable free agents who are still looking for a team right now. Earl Thomas, who was cut by the Ravens after fighting a teammate. Clinton Clinton Dixon, who was recently cut by the Cowboys as safety. And another surprising cut, the Washington football team released Adrian Peterson, the superstar, record-breaking, versatile running back. And I'm sure he'll probably still try to play because I think he still believes he has some left in the tank, and he probably does. And also, Josh Rosen, the former high quarterback pick, was also released by the Dolphins, but they'll just run with Fitzmagic and Tua Tua. And then we have the Tampa Bay Bucks, fortunate to land Leonard Fournette. And this was just, I guess it kind of just fell in their lap. The Jacksonville Jaguars abruptly decided that Fournette was not in their best interest of the team right now, and their plans, or whatever their plan is, to tank this year, or whatever they're doing by letting all the talent leave, or all the talent wanting to leave. And Fournette, the bruiser and speedster, was let go by the Jaguars when they said they couldn't find anyone to trade him with. I guess they just didn't want to let him go. Maybe he was trying to get traded, he was, or maybe the team didn't want to give up what they were asking. But he was waived and released from the Bucks. He was waived and released from the Jaguars and picked up by the Bucks to join that already star-studded lineup. The receivers, the tight ends, now the running backs, so much depth on offense and so many players to contribute, and also a stout defense. So that Tampa Bay Bucks team just keeps looking better and better, and we'll see how they perform on the field this year. And by the time this show comes out, the 53-man roster will be basically completed on Saturday, where teams will already know who they're going to go with moving forward into the season. But there's still a few players lurking, such as Jadeveon Clowney, who's rumored to be either going to the Saints, ain't it, Titans, or the Saints or the Titans, ain't it? So we'll see where Jadeveon Clowney lands. I know a lot of the younger players probably looking at it like he set out the whole offseason and not coming until week one. And when you're a highly touted veteran, you can do things like that. And we'll see what kind of season he has this year. As people were saying, his sack numbers may not be where a lot of people would like. He may be more of a stout, run-stopping defensive end. Or maybe they want to try him in space. Who knows? But we'll see where he lands. And also, we have Haskins to start for the Washington DCs, coming off a rookie campaign which was less than impressive. But he's showing a lot of dedication to his craft over the offseason, and they say he's in great shape as well. And another starter presumed to be Cam Newton. Captain Cam, the Superman comeback Patriot fan, Cam. Now, this guy is going to follow in the footsteps of so many talented, seasoned veterans who joined the Patriots later on in their career, such as the Corey Dillons of the world, the Randy Mosses, the Darrell Reeveses, the Aqib Talibs, and the LeGarrette Blunts. And with Cam Newton, Belichick has already said he's a hard worker. He likes Cam is out there staying loose, enjoying himself, bringing a positive atmosphere to the team and to the game, and soaking up all that good Patriot offensive knowledge and wisdom. So that offense, when it comes out on the field in week one, it's gonna be something to see, because with the minds in that offensive room and the talents of Cam, he just needs a few key role players to step up, and that offense will be pretty decent, especially with him being used in versatile ways. So we'll see how everything goes with that Patriots offense. But I definitely believe the Patriots are going to make it happen this year with Cam, despite a few losses on defense. And once again, just to touch on the several NFL and NBA teams who held meetings and discussed their experiences and also suggested policies, bills, spoke to the media and voiced their collective views, voices, and thoughts. Salute to y'all for getting those words out into the people, to the masses, where young kids can begin to form their own opinions of how things are in society and the way things have been and maybe the way things will be in the future, moving forward one day. And to cap off my contender series conclusion, these are the other teams I believe will be in the hunt for the Super Bowl trophy in 2021 February. Of course, who I just mentioned, the Tampa Bay Bucks, with so much weaponry around Tom Brady, the tight end group, with the return of Gronk, the receiver group with the beast Mike Evans and the speedster Godwin, and now the running back team, the running back core with Leonard Fournette, and also the other depth they have with LaShawn, McCoy, Shady. They may even have those guys on the field at the same time sometimes. You never know. But offense looks very good on paper, and defense has a reputation of being stout. So definitely believe the Bucks will have what it takes to make it to the playoffs and make a run. Also in the NFC South, you have the New Orleans Saints, led by Drew Brees and Coach Payton. Offensive firepower. That's their game. So you know they're going to get yards, they're going to score touchdowns, they're going for the deep bomb. So just based on their history and based on their explosiveness, I believe they will definitely be there in the playoffs as well. Then you have the Seahawks with Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll. And now the defense has that versatile Swiss Army knife, Adams, coming over from the Jets. So the Seahawks, they're always going to go as far as Russell Wilson take them, and he'll take them far. And I believe the defense is going to come on this year with the addition of Adams. So the Seahawks, I believe, will be one of those contenders as well. Then you have San Fran, who made it so close to becoming the Super Bowl champion last year, only to be thwarted by the Kansas City Chiefs late in the Super Bowl. And I believe that they're still going to have a lot of key pieces and components to make a run. They're going to be a little short on receiver depth early in the season, but they will be getting Deebo Samuel back, and they also have rookies to see how they come on. So look out for the 49ers. Also, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs. Look out for these Chiefs to prove that they're dynasty worthy this year by going back-to-back, or at least making it interesting in the playoffs. They have the pieces still there, explosive offense. The receivers are all fast guys who can catch, make moves, and take it to the house. Also added some depth at receiver, and Tyrann Mathieu leading the defense. And the Baltimore Ravens, of course, with Lamar Jackson, adding some receivers, adding some running back depth. They're going to be there, I believe, in playoff time as well. And the last two teams who I believe are going to be sleepers this year are the Houston Texans and the Arizona Cardinals, respectively led by Murray and Watson. So those are my contenders who I believe will be there in the playoff time. If I didn't mention your team, don't get in your feelings. This is just my opinion. We'll see how the season unfolds. Hopefully the NFL can have a successful season despite COVID-19. And in Block 2 of the Rabb Yeaux Sports Stew Show, my exclusive NFL 2020 Week 1 preview for the Super Bowl 2021 championship. Super Bowl week, preseason, now real season, NFL kickoff week. Block 2 coming up. Rabb Yeaux Sports Stew Show. Be right back. Peace. And welcome back to the Rabb Yeaux Sports Stew Show, Week 1 NFL 2020. Let's take a look at some of the games. So Thursday night we have the NFL kickoff, 8:20. Texans Chiefs. In this game, I gotta go with the Texans 31, Chiefs 35. Sunday, 1 o'clock games, September 13th. We got the Jets at the Bills. For this game, I believe the Jets will be outscored by the Bills by a score of 27 Bills, Jets 13. Then we have Packers at Vikings. I believe these teams are pretty evenly matched. I have the Packers with 23 and the Vikings with 24 with a narrow win at home. Then we have the debut of Cam Newton with the Bucks hosting the Dolphins with Fitzmagic and Tua Tagovailoa. In this game, I do have the New England Patriots defeating the Dolphins with a final score of 30-20. Then we have Chicago at Detroit. I think this will be a low-scoring, grinded-out game. I have Chicago 13, Detroit 17. Then we have the Seahawks at Atlanta. I believe the Seahawks will defeat Atlanta with a final score of Seahawks 31, Atlanta 21. Then we have Philly at the Washington football team. And I believe the Philadelphia Eagles have an explosive offense and will defeat the Washington football team with a final score of 35-24. Then we have the debut of the Las Vegas 2020 updated roster with speedster receivers. And this is going to be the Vegas Raiders at Carolina with Teddy Bridgewater and Robbie Anderson, new coaching staff. And in this game, I believe John Gruden will get it done with his new look offense with a final score of 24 Las Vegas Raiders, Carolina 21. Then we have the Cleveland Browns. Will this be the year they get the offense clicking? At the Baltimore Ravens. Will this be the year they get the Super Bowl? Cleveland Browns, I believe, will have an explosive offense this year and will be able to get it clicking. But I just believe the Ravens have too much of a strong running game and now too many surprise deep threats with new acquisitions at receiver. So I got to go Cleveland 27, Baltimore 28. And then the evening games, the 4:05 game, we got the Chargers at Cincinnati. Chargers with Tyrod Taylor, Cincinnati with the rookie Pherro. I do believe the Chargers will defeat the Bengals with a final score of Chargers 28, Bengals 23. In the 4:25 game, we got the Buccaneers debuting Tampa Bay, and we have Drew Brees in that high-powered, high-potent Saints offense. But in this game, I believe the Buccaneers defense will be able to get after Drew Brees and be able to slow that offense down. Now, this is all contingent on Clowney not going to the Saints, because if Clowney goes to the Saints, it could be a whole different dimension in this game. But as it stands right now, I think the Buccaneers will win with a final score: Buccaneers 41, New Orleans Saints 31. Then we have AZ, Arizona Cardinals, now with Hopkins teaming up with Murray at San Fran. San Fran looking to bounce back from last year with Garoppolo when he was so close to getting that Super Bowl. And that running game is still going to be on point. How will the receivers make up early in the season with a few injuries and losses? We'll see. But in this game, I think the Arizona Cardinals will squeak by the 49ers with a final score: Arizona 24, San Fran 23. And for the Sunday night game, we have Dallas at LA Rams. So in this game, I do believe the Dallas' offense will pick up right where it left off last year as the top or one of the top offenses in the league, especially with new acquisition such as CeeDee Lamb. And the LA Rams will lose with a final score: Cowboys 24, Rams 20. And in the Monday night game, September 14th, 7:15 p.m., we got the Steelers and the Giants. Two teams with the long lineage of linebackers, heavy hits, hard hitters, grinded out football. In this matchup, I do believe the Steelers will have what it takes to defeat the Giants in a close game: Steelers 27, Giants 26. And in the Week 1 finale, nightcap, we got the Tennessee Titans, who had that deep run behind Tannehill and Henry and that strong defense. And we have the Denver Broncos, who added a few new offensive pieces and hope that they can capitalize this year. And then this game starts at 10:10 p.m. I do believe the Titans will defeat the Broncos with a final score, Titans 33, Broncos 23. And this concludes another Pherro Knicks picks. But before I go, I just want to say thanks for checking me out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hate. Don't hate if you have lucky. Peace. See you on next one.